So it's going to say stealth, which is going to tell you that no one else can see our orders. We're not floating anything out in public view. So that protects us from the professional traders and the institutional computers that are looking for orders and trying to determine where people are buying and selling.
And there's actually a huge benefit to not sending the order to the broker. Like if you send a limit order to the broker, as soon as it hits your goal price, like $10.10 it says here, if it hits that price, it's just immediately going to sell at the broker. But since we didn't submit the order to the broker, the advantage we have is after it reaches the price, the limit price, on the right-hand side, there's a column here called reached. See volume, and then could you point at it? Reached, right there. So down below here, across from that symbol, you're going to put a Y there. A Y will appear there. It says yes. That means yes, I reached my goal. And then the auto trader will start looking for a very small pullback in the price. So we can actually let a winner run higher without closing it out. And then after it pulls back a few cents from its high, then the auto trader will automatically close it.
All right.
It's a pretty nice feature.
It's a great feature. So down below here, if we were trading more symbols, this is where our watch list would be. So if we had several other stocks, they would be down below, and it would give us the information on each one of those symbols. But because we're starting off with a very basic strategy here, for a lot of you folks that are new to automated trading, we don't have any in here. We can see that we're just running the Bank of America long strategy. So now, a couple other things to show you. These buttons here in the middle, if you ever want to close a position manually, if you want to open a position or close a position manually, you can use those buttons. So they're available to use.
Well, wait, click on one of these down here. Click on the line, anywhere on the line. Yeah. You also have those options. If you click anywhere on the line on the symbol, you have all these options. Buy additional shares. If you just click it, it'll pop up a window and give you the option. It knows you're trading in 1,000-share lots, so it'll give the option to add more thousands. Or below that, sell selected 1,000 shares or sell all 1,000 shares. If you have 2,000 or 3,000 shares there, it gives you the choice. You don't have to. You can just tell it sell all or sell, and you can specify which lot you want to sell if you want to be specific. If you're not specific, it's going to sell the most profitable lot that it sees. It gives you the option also to click to edit the price. You can change the entry price just in case it was different than what we're showing here. Reset exit phase, we don't need that feature anymore, and we'll talk about that later because that's actually built into another feature that's way more advanced and that automatically does it. Reset exit phase, do you mind if I talk for a minute about exit phase?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, there are 5, people don't know this, but there are 5 exit phases. Exit phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exit phase 1 is if and I don't know if you really need to know this, but you should know it, I guess. Exit phase 1 means that the market conditions look really good for this stock, for this position. So we want to go after the most money we can get. So let's just, for example, say our profit goal was $1. Then the auto trader says, you know what? I'm going to go after that whole $1. But then what happens is the exit phase will go to 2 or 3 or 4 based on the market conditions, and also it takes into account the time of day. If, say, you're starting to get close to the end of the day and the market's getting ready to close, and maybe the market is going down while you're in a long position, so it really does not look favorable for you. It could go all the way down to exit phase 5, and that says, you know what, give me something here. You don't have to go after the whole $1. So I mean, this is like a thinking, breathing machine. I hate to say that, but it's designed to take money, and that's what it's like the Terminator. I mean, this thing is, or the ever-ready bunny rabbit, I call it. It's got features built into it, and as you go, and as we go through more training classes, I'll show you a lot of neat stuff that's already built in. I mean, so you're not necessarily. I think the difference between CoolTrade and a lot of other systems, or any other system for that matter, is I think with any other system, it's going to count on you to know and do everything. You're going to have to micromanage that position. With CoolTrade, You can just give it generalities of how you want of rules, and you don't have to take complete control. Let the machine breathe a little bit. Let it do what it does best. It's a computer.
Yep. So now let's just to recap, the system's going to do all of this for you. So you don't have to get worried that there's way too much that you need to know. It's going to do it all for you, and it really is ready to go once it's installed. So now let's get to the fun part. So what I did is clicked on Report here, and this particular one started on 9/24. And this is our reporting section, which is up top here. If you just click Reports here, it's going to generate this, and then you can tell it, do I want to look at the results for the last day, the last week, the last month, the last year? It's all really easy to use. It's all point and click. So, just doing a report for the last year, it's going to tell you when it opened the position, what time it opened the position, what date it closed the position, what time on that date it closed it, what the symbol was, whether it was on the long side or the short side, what it bought it for, what it sold it for, how many shares, and what it made for profit. So these are all the profits.
That does not include the trading fee.
That does not, yeah, good point. That does not include the trading fee. So it depends on who your broker is. If you're a TD Ameritrade and you're a Cool Trade subscriber and you signed up through us, they offer $5 trades. If you're with Interactive Brokers, it's around the same if you're trading 1,000-share lots. So these are all the trades that it's done since 9/24, and you can see down at the bottom what the total is, $33,560. So what's really impressive about this is, you look at our open position. If you want to find out what our net is, we would subtract the $35.60 from the $150, and that'll give you your net. And we've only got $9,760 allocated on this one. What a tremendous return in just over 2 months. And, when you include in the holiday there, we had 2 months. So it really is a powerful tool, and it did this all on its own without us having to get involved at all manually. So I'm going to share with you a couple other things up top here. I'll try to run through them quickly so we can get through the strategy wizard. And there's all kinds of things that you can do here. If you click on File, you have My Subscription, Trader Preferences, Strategy Preferences. So these are all tabs that you can click on, and it'll open them up. I'm not going to get into every single one of them tonight because we want to spend some time on the strategy wizard and then give you guys some examples of different symbols that you can trade and use the tool for. So if you want to update the version, you can download the developer version at any time. We don't charge for updates, so you'll always get the latest and greatest.
One. The developer, I call it the developer version. That's the most recent version of the software, since the last official release. And, I'm always adding, more things to make it better and better.
So we have a Cool Trade community board also. So if you want to ask a question and you want to get a really quick response, sometimes the best thing to do is go onto the community board and ask, there's usually hundreds of people that will very quickly respond and get back to you with an answer to a technical question. View Cool Trade manual. So there's a manual here. There's tutorials here. View the Cool Trade website. If you want to go there, you can. Open a new brokerage account. You can do that too. If you do it right through the site, TD Ameritrade, just for example, if you go there, there's a special offer, and you actually get 50% off trades by using that special offer. I don't believe you can get that just walking into a TD Ameritrade office. It's a very special offer that
they don't advertise.
That's specific just for Cool Trade. So if you ever need to change your password, you can do that here. And what are we doing? Exit session.
Just change that to 11 o'clock.
Update?
Yes.
Okay.
And close.
All right. So a couple other things to show you. So the next tab here, blocked. If you ever want to block a symbol, say that one shows up in your watch list here and you don't particularly care for it, any symbol, just take one, GM or GE or any one that say you didn't care for, you could just enter it in here very easily and then add it to your block list, and just go ahead and click this button, and the system will never consider buying that stock.
And what primarily that's used for sometimes is if you happen to have some positions at the broker that you don't want the auto trader to trade, like you want to keep them forever,